The team at Turf Tech Direct has put this video together to take you through all of the steps involved in installing a synthetic grass putting green. Step 1. Preparing the surface. Remove and level out the top layer of dirt. This will usually require about 3 inches of dirt to be removed. Next, we're going to set our level height and string guides that we'll be using for the majority of the process, so it's important to take the time to get these right. Remove any large rocks or debris, and tamp out the base layer of dirt to a smooth finish. Step 2. Installing the borders. Dig out the edges around the border where the turf will end. In this case, we're using 2x4s, so we'll be digging about 4 inches deep. Then, secure the border material in place using stakes and attaching them to the boards using screws. Step 3. Stone base layers. It's important to identify any existing drainage points and cover them with a layer of bluestone. This will ensure good drainage after the turf is installed. Next up is a layer of recycled crushed aggregate, or RCA. Spread this across the entire surface. Level this out using string guides and then tamp to a smooth finish. For putting greens, we use a fine bluestone layer on top . The rest of the turf areas receive a more standard crushed bluestone. We'll then level these bluestone layers and tamp them down. Step 4. Installing the cups. Using a post hole digger, dig out the holes for the cups. These holes are about 6 inches in diameter and 12 inches deep. The holes are then filled with about 4 inches of bluestone. Then we add in the cup stand, which is a 1/2-inch pipe seated into the hole. Use the cup to test out the depth and alignment while fully seating the pipe. We then add cement to secure the cup in place. Always ensure that the cup is level. Finely crushed bluestone is added over top of the cement, leaving about 1/4 inch of the cup still exposed. This will vary based on the thickness of putting green turf being used. Our team likes to use a test piece of turf during this step to ensure the perfect cup depth. Step 4. Installing the turf. Roll out the putting green turf. carefully begin trimming it to the shape of the putting green. Adding infill will help the turf lay flat, allowing for a more accurate placement. We use a combination of spreaders and brushes to work the infill into the turf. At this point, we also trim the turf around the cups. Because we are installing a turf edge around the putting green, we will be using seam tape. We lay this halfway underneath the turf all the way around. Roll out the border turf, and trim it to shape. During this process, more infill will help the turf lay flatter and in getting a more accurate cut. Pull back both layers of turf and apply a layer of glue to the seam tape. Once the glue has been laid, lay the turf layers on the seam tape. This step is very important to creating an invisible seam. Apply extra infill to the seams. And use thin stakes to secure the border layer of turf. We then clean up the seams with lacquer thinner and a vacuum, and then use a blower to clear off any excess infill. Finally, staple down the border of the perimeter turf. At this point, we'll add a final layer of infill and go over the turf with a power broom to get the best looking end result. And that's all the steps to installing a synthetic grass putting green. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in the materials used in this project, or if you have any questions, you can get in touch with us on our website or over the phone.